Yeah, it has been an absolutely extraordinary start to life as the new Liverpool manager for Arne Slot. So, I mean, it's been seamless so far. We wondered how he'd fill those boots left by the huge personality of Jurgen Klopp. I mean, he's become the first manager to win as many as 11 of his first 12 games in charge across all competitions in English top-flight history. Yes, we keep talking about the squad that he inherited, a very, very talented squad. But how is he producing this kind of start? The best ever, by quite some distance, by a Liverpool manager.
Well, he's just made it look easy, hasn't he? That sort of smooth transition. Because, yeah, we all thought Jurgen Klopp, how successful he was, and the sort of link that he had with the fans and with the players, it was going to be difficult. Whereas he's come in, he's not massively tweaked things, but he has tweaked things tactically in terms of they've got a little bit more control, maybe not as much chaos as under Jurgen Klopp. I think the positive, again, last week beating Chelsea was winning after the international break.
Look at the names he's ahead of there.
Yeah, well, the only loss was against Nottingham Forest, which was straight after the international break. So he's learnt from that, learnt from those experiences. He kept saying there's bigger tests to come in the first few games, but he's going to beat Chelsea, a very good side. And I just think you look at them, they seem to have good shape on and off the ball. They've got that nice balance between sort of defence and attack. And he's still got the Jurgen Klopp where when they go, and they go with real quality. They'll press from the front, but they just maybe don't do it all the time. But yeah, you're seeing sort of players, obviously Gravenberch, we all said at the start of the season, they probably need to sign a number 6. He's been absolutely outstanding. Him and McAllister, the way that they've played together has been superb. And then you've gone and got Curtis Jones getting man of the match in the last game. So they've got that competition for places in the midfield, also in those forward areas. So he's been outstanding since he's come in.
And Tim, I know you elsewhere did a little bit of analysis on how he's gone about things since he took over at Liverpool, because people will be looking for big tactical changes. But actually picking up on what Sue said there, the tactical tweaks, perhaps not as big as some might think.
Almost identical, out of possession and in possession, with the stats. We talk about the biggest change for me is the fact that he doesn't mind going back to front. You know, defenders, they roll the ball across, Van Dijk hitting diagonals out to Mo Salah, who's showing his strength for a little guy, and he just holds people off. Jota, they're going direct into him. Now looks like he's going to be injured. Darwin Núñez has got more physicality. But it's all by design, because the midfield are following the ball, going with the rhythm of the ball, they're getting the second balls, they're building from there, and then they play in the opposition half. It's not like a typical Dutch manager where you say, no, we're going to play out, this is our patterns from the back, and it's all monotonous. It's nothing like that. Yes, we will play from the back, but we'll mix it up as well. We go over the press. That's right, it's very sensible what he's doing. For me, he's taken over from a personality, you mentioned it at the top there, like Jurgen Klopp. He's not come in there feeling like, I have to put my stamp on this. He's basically said, it's not broken, I'll tweak it a little bit. Gravenberch is a great example of that. He identifies that he's his man, he's his reference in the middle of the park there. And he's built the team around this kid. And Curtis Jones has come in and he was absolutely magnificent. Then in midweek, he leaves him out, brings McAllister back in. He's got a fantastic squad of players there. They're all raring to go. And I think it'll be a difficult afternoon for Arsenal. I
think Jurgen Klopp deserves enormous credit for the whole thing as well. And I know we speak about him when he was in charge. But when you've been at a football club for so long, sometimes you get selfish and it becomes all about you. Jurgen Klopp, he said he was tired, you know, he was run down, he needed a break from football. He took himself away from it. He built a squad back up. If Jurgen Klopp had left the season before, then there would have been issues there. But Jurgen Klopp knew that he had, you know, the full of Liverpool under control as such. He went and built a new squad, decided at the end of that season, right, my time's up, I'm going to move, and pass the reins over to a new manager coming in. He's not tweaked anything, he's not really done anything that Jurgen Klopp has. He's allowed them to go. I think Arne Slot, in terms of, he's not coming in with an ego saying, right, I'm going to change this. Yeah. But the whole thing for me is the way that Jurgen Klopp left the football club. Because sometimes when you're that big character, your ego gets the better of you, and it's all about you, and the club comes second. I need to leave having won something. I need to leave off the back of a successful season. It was a personal thing for him to walk away, leave the club in a good position, and a new manager comes in and takes it on.
The caveat is the fixtures have been kind.
But he said the game he lost start last week, and he passes the first one.
The game he lost, he should have won. I mean, Forest ain't won there for 100 years. You know, it's like, well, not so much, but 1969. But You know,
It's a bit of exaggeration amongst friends.
Mike was refereeing it.
Look at that look.
I was.
So he's
What's that all about?
We're muckers.
Well, he started that last week with him, didn't he? He started doing all the fist pumping last week.
We're mates. We're mates.
Way down the line.
Listen, I want to pick up on something before we look at Gravenberch, who's been absolutely terrific this season. Clinton, just in the way that Liverpool are controlling games, look at what they did against RB Leipzig, because I remember Arne Slot after the Wolves game, which they won by 2-1. He was unhappy with the sloppiness, he called it, of his team in the final few minutes of games. He demanded more control from Liverpool in games going forward. Have we seen that in recent games?
Yeah, you have. We've seen it. Liverpool have been fantastic. Arne Slot, everyone's just spoke highly of him, and Jurgen Klopp, the job he's done there. But yeah, he's been brilliant. There were big shoes to come in and fill. I know you know what he didn't? He didn't come in and rip loads of things up. He already had a good enough squad, and I think their squad's fantastic. I've always said Liverpool were title contenders because if they can keep everyone fit, I know there's obviously Jota will be out on the weekend, but they've got other forward players that can come in. And I said,
Who would you expect to come in?
I would probably... See, it's a hard one because I think Diaz got rested and Gakpo started the other day because he was on international duty. And I know he likes Gakpo, but I think Diaz will play on the left. And me and Boyd will talk about, I think he'll play Nunes through the middle. I think Nunes will go and stretch and cause them all kinds of problems, the Arsenal centre
especially
half.
without Saliba.
That's what I mean, without Saliba,
Yeah.
you're playing someone who's got pace and wants to stretch the game. So I think, yeah, fantastic. But I know we're going to talk about Gravenberch, but you have to talk about Curtis Jones because he's a
Well,
player.
I mean, the thing for me now with Liverpool is they've got themselves into this good position. You've got Trent Alexander-Arnold coming out of contract, Virgil van Dijk, you're speaking about. You've got Mo Salah. They must find a way to get those three players tied down. They are crucial for Liverpool going forward. And they might, Salah might be getting on in age, but he's still scoring goals.
Yeah.
He's still having a big impact. They need to find a way to get those three players tied up.
And that is going to be fascinating how that plays out over the next few weeks.